Let's get this party started.
All right, let's get ready to die.
Welcome back, everybody. The camera swings around a tense moment. In a raging snowstorm on one side, we have the adventurers hurriedly making their way to the chapel to prevent the body of Esther Tigg from being exhumed. And on the other side of the scene, it's the chapel and the gravestone of Esther Tigg with a small house spirit, a Nisse sitting on top of it. And in the middle, the Campbell brothers, Daniel and Samuel, one with a rifle pointed at the Nisse and one with a pistol pointed back at the adventurers. I believe it was Edvard who had made the request to take this conflict indoors in a warm environment to prevent Father Winter from doing any more damage to the people outside. But having been upset by a number of events over the last day,
Mm-hmm.
the theft of a precious item and the possible exhuming of the body of a person that this Nissa has had a strange connection with, as well as just the general lack of care and treatment that one ought to provide a house spirit like a Nissa. This particular one shouts back through the snow, "Father Winter can have you all." And in that moment, that tense moment, the Nissa sits on top of the gravestone and the Campbell brothers have their weapons leveled, not sure who is going to do the next move, when from out of the ground, flanking Esther Tigg's grave, two pale, larger humanoid figures erupt out of the ground. Snow flies. A hand sweeps across into the Nissa's body. Huzzah. Well, that's one success. The Nissa takes the fist in the face and disappears off the top of the gravestone, flying into a puff of a pile of snow that's drifted up on top of that's up against the chapel. Both Daniel and Sambo look back to see this, and one shouts to the other, "I told ya, revenants!" The two look back towards you in a brief half second. They are clearly undead, pale, larger, but at one point maybe human. And they begin the process of moving towards the group. And I know that some of you have ideas of what you're going to want to do, but seeing two undead entities erupt out of the ground, and their general countenance anyway, is a fearful sight to behold. Much more fearful than anything you have ever felt before. Be warned, this is a fear level 2 challenge. You need 2 successes, either through your logic or through your empathy, to overcome the fear that these creatures are instilling in you.
I'm gonna do empathy,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to do empathy due to my lived experience with Vaesen in my past,
Mm-hmm.
and that these are very frightening. Um, and also she fears she caused this. So, but just she's remembering that these revenants were once human, and that would be her empathy check.
Okay.
Um, and she still fails, so we're good.
Okay, so we'll do our fail rolls here in a second. Let's move through the rest of our players here. How are you responding to the fear of what is unnatural? Things should not be coming back from the dead.
I am empathizing. Please.
And am I correct?
Damn
Do we get a bonus to this roll for having the other player characters near us in solidarity with us? I believe I saw something to that effect in our
That
cheat sheet.
sounds correct.
Oh, yeah, that
Actually,
actually
you're
does sound
right.
correct.
Let's see.
Nope,
Okay, looking
you're
at the
right.
second page here.
Yeah. I completely forgot
roll
about
number
that.
dice equal to attribute
Mm-hmm.
plus nearby players,
Mm-hmm.
max of +3, minus mental conditions.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
So
you
it's
guys
a
get some extra.
3 dice.
You get 3 more dice.
I get one more because I've got 2 conditions.
No, your die was
They already subtracted.
It
the
already
conditions.
subtracted it. So yeah, these should be 3 more dice that you get.
Okay.
Still nothing.
This is going to be fun.
I'm gonna push it. Frightened sounds about right.
Yay! Got one.
I got 1 success. I got
Ooh.
3 successes
Okay.
Okay.
from the
Worthwhile
push.
push.
Okay. That's your second success, Tatiana.
Yep.
All right.
Like the trickle in one at a time for
Like,
extra
will it do it?
suspense there.
Oh, will it do it?
I couldn't figure out how to roll just 3 without messing with the bonuses.
Hey, that's all right. We got
it's
there.
all good. So I am going to be using my logic and knowing that these are simply creatures like any other. They may be strange to us, but they follow their own set of rules.
Nice.
And that thought was comforting enough.
Hell yeah.
Oh, Ernst. All right. And then there was one.
All right. I'm also going to use empathy, but I also have brave, so I get a +1 to all fear tests.
Nice.
Nice.
So, whoops, I don't. It's supposed to be. Hold on, I clicked the wrong thing, so I'm just going to drop this and try this again.
Don't forget your
Why
+3
is
for
it
players.
only? Oh, it's because I have 2. It's because I have 2 conditions. Okay. So +3 because of.
+3 because of your compatriots. Yep.
Okay. 4. Okay. 1 success.
That is 1 success.
Do you want to push it?
I already have 2 conditions.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you
Yeah.
have 1 mental condition.
I do only have 1 mental condition, and I'm not frightened yet, so I guess I could go ahead and push it. How do you? Oh yeah, just press the button, push. Frightened. Okay.
Is that
There you
success number 2?
Yeah, it looks like
Fantastic.
it. Okay, cool.
All right,
Yay.
sweet. Now, as you are wrestling with this fear of the unnatural and conquering it very well. It doesn't seem to be impacting the Campbell brothers nearly as much. In fact, they seem to have a healthy respect, but also a certain amount of excitement. Some characters that are exceptionally terrifying have a second fear value for when you re-engage them at some other point in some other mystery. You will never roll a fear 2 against this particular Vaesen again, but will still have a fear check. So they have a target of 1 as opposed to a target of 2. So let's see. Daniel being the more, and he's going to use his thing right now. And he still fails. So let's just go ahead and push that. Try empathy again, but this time he only gets that. And let's see, what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. That's better.
Jesus.
And
That was a
then
good one.
Samuel, let's see, but he does have a condition on him now, and I have to keep that in mind as I'm rolling Daniel's stuff. But Samuel's a bookworm. He's much more logical. So 1, 2, 3. And there's a 6. So Daniel succeeds. All right, now we're at the point in the program where we get to draw initiative. Now, I wanted to go do something cool initiative through the fantasy grounds. I couldn't come up with it. But then besides, I've got the really cool cards here. So basically what's going to happen is I'm going to start with Tatiana and then go to Edward, then go to Trish and Ernst. I'm going to show you what card you have. The lower the card, the earlier in the round you go. I'll also be writing down on a sheet, keeping track of people's initiative. But I'm really sure that Quinn's going to probably be my backup. Quinn's probably going to be tracking all of this too. And then when I skip somebody, Quinn, you're going to jump in and be like, yo, Curry. And I'll be like, oh, shoot. So we're going to start with Tatiana. So Tatiana, your initiative card is an 8.
Okay.
And you're not locked into this spot. Depending on how you fight and defend yourself, you have an opportunity of moving yourself through the initiative, but this is your initiative card for the entire engagement.
What is my dog? Is my dog also 8?
Yes.
Okay.
Edvard, you are a 6.
Sweet.
Nope. Wait. Yeah, you're a 6. Nope, the crown's on top. Crowns go on top of your head. You're a 9. I'm sorry.
Ah, shit.
Sorry. You roll so many successes, you're going to be moving.
God, I hope so. God, I hope so.
Okay. Okay. So that takes us to Trish. 4?
Whoa.
Oh, sweet. And I actually have an advantage of +2 to shooting 1 time.
Ooh.
Oh, thank God I have that. It's gonna.
Ernst. 3.
Well then.
Oh, there you go.
Whoa. H before beauty.
All right.
Indeed.
Let's do the dramatic thing and let's go to the Campbell brothers next. And
What was yours again, Trish?
4.
Yeah.
Okay.
all right. Campbell brothers are a
Edward's the most beautiful of all of us.
7. And I'll have both the Campbell brothers go on 7 just to keep things simple for me. And then our baddies are a 5. So they go right in the middle of the pack.
Does the Tante roll for initiative or
Oh,
no?
you know what? You're absolutely
So I know
right.
he got smacked in the face, but
he got smacked in the face. That's absolutely true. I completely forgot about him. He got it knocked out. So, oh, look at that. He got it too.
Good for him.
So the
Can he go first?
Nisse will go first. Okay. Actually, that's not what they are. That's what they are. Okay, sweet. So, as these undead entities erupt out of the ground and take their little surprise action, and they put the hurt on the Nisse, he bursts out of the snowbank. His hat's been knocked off him, and because he has a condition. Oh, that's his condition. That's so funny. Okay. His condition is that if it's possible, he is now more scornful than ever.
Oh,
And he sees these two things erupt out of the ground, and he shouts, more interlopers coming to take my sweet away. How dare you? But he doesn't he doesn't act. He doesn't leave his area. He reaches into his jacket and he pulls out a bowl. And Trish, you recognize this bowl. It's that bowl of porridge that you left for him in the stable. And then somewhere in the background, everybody hears da 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 da, and he starts eating the porridge. And as he's eating the porridge, as he starts eating the porridge, you swear that his biceps start to get larger, and a battleship shows up and starts firing its guns. And as he eats this porridge, he's if I can use a pro wrestling term, he's hulking up. He's taking a turn to gain a pretty impressive buff, if I must say. So that's going to be the Nisse's turn. Yes.
For a second, thought you were going to say he was going to take the porridge and like slam it in one of their faces.
Oh, that'd be really cool. But he's got to eat it. He's got to eat it to get the buff. So
good.
So he is taking his turn eating his Nisse's porridge. He is eating his can of spinach, porridge, and now he's ready to take on Brutus. All right, Ernst, it's your go.
Oh my gosh. Well, that completely changed things, because up until he started bulking up here and chowing down on that porridge, I was ready to rush to the Nisse side and get myself between it and these undead. And now Ernst is kind of at a loss. Is it possible to hold an action, wait for something else to happen?
Yeah, so the hold is
that is a fast action.
It is indeed a fast action, so you're kind of using it as your reaction. And basically it is what it is. You are basically holding that slow action for at some point later on. I can't remember if there's an interrupt or not, and I'm not going to necessarily worry about it. It's when it's time for you to do your action, you'll just let me know.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, I am watchfully waiting, and
but this is the use of your fast action, so you don't have access to any other fast actions, like
so I don't.
Well, I mean, I guess you could use your. I guess you would ask me the rule that I don't have under my belt 100%. I'm not going to worry about it. We'll worry about it when we get there.
Okay.
Yep. All right. So Fair enough. Takes us to Trish.
Oh shit. God. These things are just zombies that just appeared out of nowhere.
They erupted out of the ground. But they didn't. But I'll give you this. There were tombstones. It looks like they've erupted out of. It looks like they've erupted out of graves that are next to Esther.
They didn't come out of nowhere. We should have figured this could happen. We're in a graveyard, for God's sake. Yeah, can I go ahead and like make a snowball and like put a rock in it or something and throw it at one of their heads?
I mean, sure.
There's snow everywhere. It's fresh.
Yeah, sure. I mean, whether there's a rock in there or not will be determined by the dice as to whether or not you do any tremendous damage to them or not. So let's ask my other thing here. What is of all the things? I don't think where's the throne? I know I had a throne.
I don't see it either. You think that would be up here?
Throne's got to be force. I mean, when you punch somebody without a weapon, it's force.
Yeah.
So I think that
if I hit them,
it's probably I don't know.
It's gonna be
If you
cold.
throw it, it's probably. I could have swore I wrote down a cheat sheet for when you throw something at somebody.
Oof.
I'm afraid that I'm going to get this wrong and it's going to turn out to be something like agility.
Let's do agility.
I mean, that would make more
My
sense,
force
right?
is at 0.
Because your force is at 0.
Yeah.
Yeah, hang on here a second.
Stupid.
I got this. I got this. We're good. We're fine. You know, there has to be a ranged weapon. I mean, ranged weapons, I bet you that they have like knives involved in that. Right. What page is that on? There's equipment. Equipment, armor, cover, equipment, weapons. Do weapons have a range that are thrown range? They have to, right?
I think if
Spear
you're-
range 0-1, damage 1, bonus +1, close combat or
Yeah.
ranged combat. So yeah, you would use your ranged combat skill for that.
Yeah, it would be 0 to 1. Sorry, I was going to say that.
Yeah, the range would be 0-1. You're all in the same zone, so range isn't going to be an issue probably for this entire combat. But it's going to be ranged combat. Yeah.
So is it agility or force?
Ranged combat is its own skill. It's under precision.
Precision.
I knew it
See
was ranged
precision up
combat.
here.
I knew that. I promise you, I knew that right away. I knew that.
Oh, there it is. Range combat. I see it right there. Okay. I also nope. That's close combat. Never mind. Okay. Cool. Okay. So. Haha.
It's a
One
hit.
success.
That is a success. So, the snowball, which you hope when you dig into the ground, man.
I'm going
there's
for like the eyes.
right.
You know?
Absolutely. So we got a baddie to the party's right and a baddie to the party's left. Which one were you heaving at?
The one closest to the Nisse.
Okay, we'll just say that's the one on the right, because the one on your right would have been the one that had made the hit.
Yeah.
So these guys are kind of tough, not gonna lie.
And it is just a snowball.
It wasn't just a snowball. It truly wasn't just
snowball.
a snowball. It was the best snowball ever.
Had it in the freezer
this
for a couple
thing
hours.
smacks the thing in the head, and it doesn't register any like pain per se, but that cloudy eye kind of goes pop as this snowball. You know, you never want to throw a snowball at anybody because you just don't know what is in it. It's very dangerous.
Yeah.
So yes, this first baddie to the party's right has taken a hit. It shouldn't have, but it did. It is now irritated. All right.
The way I like my zombies. Annoyed.
Now, the attack is a slow action. You still have a fast action, which you could hold on to parry in close combat.
Or dodge if
it has a range attack. Or you could also use it to move within the zone. Like if you wanted to move away from the party or move to some other area around the chapel or such.
Is there any way I could take that shoe and throw it at the Nisse? Like catch, buddy.
I think that would be a slow action.
Oh, another slow action. Okay, I'll hold on to it.
Move within
for now,
the zone, take cover, close a door, turn around, shout more than a few words. I mean, probably that is definitely going to be a slow action. Yeah.
Okay.
But you can move within the zone to get to the Nisse.
Can I get? I'm trying to remember my position. Am I already in front of Tatiana?
You're all in the same zone, so you're all roughly in the same. As far as the combat is concerned, you're in the same zone. So yes, we can have you by Tatiana for something.
All right, I want to move myself in front of her.
Sure.
Protect her.
Great. Fantastic. Use Trish's cover. Well done.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Sweet. So, and I'm going to assume that you're close enough to Tatiana. That's not going to be your fast action. You still have your fast action.
Oh.
I'm going to,
Okay.
yeah, I think.
Well, then I'll hold on to it in case I need to dodge.
Exactly.
So I get in the way, and then if I need to, I can do a backflip.
Right. So
Tatiana gets hit instead.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
you thought I was protecting you. Psych.
Right. So these
It's okay.
two,
I still have the dog.
These two entities. That's right. You do have the dog. These two entities. They are much larger than, maybe a quarter, again, the size of who a normal person would be. And they seem to also have that kind of speed that they move much more quickly. And it kind of catches the Campbell brothers off guard, even though they've got guns on them. One of these entities is immediately up on the Campbell brothers. And one almost seems, as they are moving towards your group, they almost seem like their feet never leave the ground. Their legs are moving, but they almost seem to have a connection with the ground. And it's strange at their movement. And it also seems that it somehow allows them to potentially skate along the ground. They carve lines through the snow with ease, and they're up on the group. And Trish, whatever it was that said, I have to get in front of Tatiana, seems to be the case because of all of the threats and all of the people. As you're starting to move your way in front of Tatiana, this thing is already on her. Like, you get in front of her just at the right moment. And I mean, you kind of have to ask yourself if this was the right idea, because it's got this one massive hand back and it's gone.
This is where Ernst is going to do something brave.
Go for it.
And a little bit stupid.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
And also probably make your life as an adjudicator a little bit more complicated. Ernst would like to try to basically knock into this thing and knock it off course.
Sure. So we're going to either... So here's what we can do. We can wrestle it. And I think that that's pretty close to what it is that we're trying to do. We're trying to wrestle it. And I think what's really cool is, because with the instead of an additional success to silence the defender, I'll give you an additional success to end its movement outside of, like, reach. I'll deny it reach for the round. You'll be in its reach.
But
no,
this is
but basically, if you can, yeah, let's do this. This is fun. This is gonna be great. I'm gonna enjoy this. Okay, so you are the attacker. So you're gonna make a force roll.
Okay. That went about as well as I would expect.
That's okay, Ernst. This is brave. This is very cool. So it does have its fast action available. So you forced it to burn its fast action. So that's pretty cool. So I'm going to resist because this thing has its own agenda. And I mean, it will automatically pass since it's just but if it gets additional successes, then cool things can happen. So this is going to be, oh, he has different, the monsters have different stats. So this is body control, or is this might? I think this is might. I think body control means, like, being able to be stealthy and stuff. Yeah, resisting fire and other kinds of damage. So this is going to be might. So this is the one that has one fewer because it has a condition on it already. So that many dice instead. I do it. I got 1 out of all of those dice. I do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Why did it still roll 10? That's weird. That 10th dice shouldn't have happened. He had a condition on him. He fails. The first 9 dice are all failures. The 10th dice is a success. That 10th dice shouldn't have rolled. I screwed up on that. He fails. I fail on 9 dice. But I actually needed with a 0 and a 0. So here's what happens, right? I had to score more successes than the defender to do than the attacker to do anything more than just, you don't grapple me, but I can't like exchange my initiative card with you or anything. So I think at this point in the program, like both bodies collide, right? With 0 successes and 0 successes, they like bodies collide. I don't think that stops this guy from taking a swing at this point at Trish.
Okay.
So
as a reaction, can I like parry?
Yeah, you can. Absolutely. And it will be parry since this is close combat. So this guy, can we do this right this time? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Why does it still say 10? Maybe this guy, you know what? We're just going to roll 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So here comes the attack. Okay, so he has 1 success. This looks like a big hand, though. This looks like this hand's going to hurt.
What do I roll for parry?
It's
Is
gonna
it
be
close
force.
combat? Force? Just force? Okay.
It is, yeah, because
You don't have a weapon in your hand, do
close
you?
combat
Okay.
is for weapon, force is for
Unarmed.
Now I have
This-
combat trained, so I get +2
you do get +2.
to force and parry when parrying. Okay.
Awesome.
So 1, 2. Oh no, look at all those 5s. Come on. Look at all those 5s. Are you kidding me? Oh no. I'm about to get smacked by a zombie. Zombie whipped.
Are you taking that hit then?
I have to. I don't have a choice, right?
All right. So here's what's happening. His success deals 2 damage. The first damage is a physical condition.
Okay.
But the second die, Trish, this thing doesn't want you. It uses its extra success to push you into another part of the zone.
No.
And now, Tatiana, you come face to face with this guy. However, it's not anyone's turn yet because the other guy is in the Campbell's face. And I'm going to roll a die 6. Soldier low, handsome boy high. Handsome boy. Okay, here we go. So he's going to come up to Samuel, and he's going to take a swipe at Samuel. This guy is not.
Oh, oh dear.
Oh, Nelly. Samuel's gonna die.
He'll be back next season, don't worry.
He'll be back next season.
Next season, try next episode.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow, 7 dice and not a success. So let's see. He didn't have. It was Daniel who took. I have to write this down. Daniel took the condition.
Yeah, Daniel took the condition. Samuel was fine.
Yeah, Daniel took a condition. I think Samuel's got to push this. I cannot. This is oof. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this time it's just 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's got to try and take some. Okay, 1. All right, that's better. So now that's 4 successes. So
she just wanted to castrate him. She didn't want him dead.
So he's definitely taking another physical condition. He is going to be with all of those others. Oh, I know what he's going to do. He's going to spend a success to disarm him, so the rifle goes flying. It's still inside the zone. He's going to he's going to grapple Samuel. Huge arms just reach around him. And with that final success, he squeezes on Samuel. And you can see Samuel's head go back and a small spray of very bright red blood just shoot out of his mouth. All right. Now it's Campbell's turn.
Well, hopefully they
Well, Daniel, seeing what's happened to Samuel, back to hell, foul spawn, and puts the pistol that he has up against the head of this undead entity and pulls the trigger. And you'd think this close he'd hit, but you know, it is what it is. He has a revolver. Bladow. That's 3 successes. All right. So that means that this one is who is whatever. Okay, sweet. So that's 1 success to protect. So that's 2 damage. So I think what's going to happen is he's going to do the damage.
and he's going to increase the damage.
Well, I think he's thinking about disarming the opponent because technically he's holding. You see, if I were a player, I'd say, could I use that extra success to disarm an opponent?
Yeah, but is he wielding anything?
Oh, get him to drop
He's
Samuel.
wielding Samuel.
Yeah.
See, that's my argument. If I was a player, that would be my argument.
No, I would be making that argument as a player.
Yeah, no, that's actually a really good argument.
I kind of
thought about that.
I kind of love that idea. Like he puts a bullet in this thing's head, and this thing just turns to him and lets Samuel go.
Oof.
And so this thing now has a wound on it. It is irritated as well. So this is on the Campbells, and this is on the party. Sweet. So that's
Irritated?
there.
That sounds like a mental condition.
Okay, so monsters in Vaesen, monsters, whatever, in the game, they have their own everything, and they have their own condition track. They don't have mental and physical conditions. They just suffer a prescribed list of conditions. So the first condition for both are irritated.
Irritated.
Yep.
Huh.
All right. So that takes us to Tatiana. Tatiana, you don't have to roll a vigilance test to see the 2 puncture marks in this thing's neck.
I had so many other plans before this happened, and now so I get 1 quick action and 1 slow action, right?
Mm-hmm.
My quick action is to go, I need a lighter. Does anybody have a flame? And
I do have a tinderbox.
oh no. Okay.
I know.
Yeah. The next thing is we're in the forest. What are the trees that are around us? Are they coniferous? Are they like pine trees?
I'm
Like
going.
pine trees,
I
right?
think that we're in. Well,
Evergreens.
first of all, most of the trees have been cut down. There are a number of deciduous trees. There's the big oak tree that's over the sauna, but the vast majority of what is the tree line and beyond, I would say more often than not, are going to be of some variety of evergreen, with some other types of deciduous trees that are, of course, leafless and hiding out in areas.
So you said oak.
No, there's a big oak over the sauna,
Oh,
Which is
okay.
a ways away.
which is a little ways back that way and on the other side of the property, sort of.
Okay.
Definitely a zone away.
A zone away. Got it. Will you give me that I had nettles and heather on my person?
At this point, you've got an entire botanical garden. You seem to have made it a purpose of grabbing. You are a walking 4-H display, Tatiana. We're good to go here.
Okay. Do I have like a pine branch that I would have picked up when we left the what's it called? The
You know what you have.
carriage.
You know what you have. I'm willing to make this stretch. I'm willing to imagine that very
You
early
have
on.
flammable things.
Remember very early on when your carriage got tossed into the snow and Trish spent their turn searching for a good stick. Good stick of Ernst for walking. Do we remember that? I
Yeah.
think Ernst's been using that stick. I think he's been using that a lot as he's been trudging through the snow. And when he runs to shoulder tackle this thing
I
that's
am
now in front of
dropping
you,
that stick.
that stick got dropped on the ground. That stick
Yeah.
is there on the ground, right there. You can pick it up.
Okay.
All comes
And
back around.
would that be a slow action?
Oh no, I don't think so. Like dropping something or swapping something or
Is a fast action.
is a fast action. Yeah.
So I couldn't shout a lighter then. So instead, I'm going to grab an item and I'm going to slam the stick in front of me. And I'm going to try to manipulate or persuade, because I think you can use manipulation to persuade in combat.
You
And
can
I'm
use
just-
any. Yeah, you just tell me what you want to do and we'll roll the dice.
And I'm going to shout out, Father Winter, protect us. And try to anyone who answers that to protect us.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Since
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know that Edvard has talked to him, but yeah. Okay, so I'm doing this because I realized when I was preparing for combat that I have +3 to manipulation that I haven't been using. And that as a writer, my two mental conditions are ignored when I use manipulation.
Nice.
So I should have 2 + 3. And then it should ignore my conditions. So there should be 5 dice. And I have 3 successes.
Hell fucking yeah.
All
That's
right.
really good.
All
I don't know
right.
if it's gonna work, but
We're going to find out, aren't we?
if not, I'll scream for a lighter next round.
Excellent. All right. So, yeah, Tatiana, that's your move. That takes us to Edvard. There's a target-rich environment.
Yeah, it is a target-rich environment. I am going to pull out my revolver. Well, I have it already out. I'm going to level it at the revenant that's in front of us to try to do that. And since this thing is so close, I am actively going to be using my +2.
Ah, yes, your well-kept advantage. Oof. Oof, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. Base damage 2. Oh,
Base damage
no.
2. And I got 2 successes.
Yes, you do.
So,
all right, here we go. Let's figure out how well I resist. Okay, I've saved for 1.
Okay.
So you have 2 successes. So one of them definitely deals damage.
Yeah, which is 2 damage.
Mm-hmm.
I will leave it at that, but then I will use I will use the other success to issue an, because Trish, like, this is out of character. Trish has a good physical stat, right? That's kind of what it looks like. Physique 4.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Which is why it's sad that my force is so low.
Yeah, I will be like, because we all had noticed that they were moving through the snow, and they seem to be, let's say, gliding and maybe getting power from the snow. And I will issue an order to Trish to be all like, try to grapple it out of the snow. Get its legs
it.
out of the snow.
Yes, sir.
And you will get a +2
Oh,
when
sweet.
you do that.
Okay.
So 2 damage to him, and then you get a +2. Let's see. I actually still have a quick action, and then I also just get a free quick action to dodge or parry. So I will then draw my saber as my quick action.
Yes.
And I can't move within close to Tatiana because intercepting at least, but at least I got its attention, so that way.
You did get its intention as it kind of looks towards you. What remains of its human expression? It looks like it's no longer irritated. It looks like it's mad.
Mm-hmm.
And has it bulked up even more? Has it gotten a little larger?
Yuck.
It seems like the skin is starting to have a difficult time keeping what's inside, and maybe there's a wound that kind of opens up on the belly and a little, little intestine action kind of starts to leak out a little bit. You've thought you've done damage to it, but you just make it worse.
Probably, honestly.
All right.
And that's my turn.
Excellent.
Hate that.
Top of the round. The Nisse, having finished his porridge, shouts out, Father Winter, you don't need him. I see now. I will help you. And the Nisse,
Who needs Father Winter when you got Nisse Daddy?
as he begins to like lurch down, he's popped out of the snowbank next to the chapel. But as he springs forward, his body elongates into this long, familiar gray cat that leaps back up onto the headstone of Esther, springs up again, and like a torpedo launches out towards this revenant that's engaging the Campbells. And as the cat leaps out again, at one point, the cat is no longer the cat, but it's the Nisse, and he's in that flying Superman punch mode, and he comes up to this other revenant. He just pops him in the face.
Damn, this guy rocks. Can we take him back with us? He could be like our little, like, Scooby-Doo or something. I don't know.
Scrappy-Doo.
All right.
Yeah.
So
puppy power.
Yeah, Nisse power.
So
Power punch.
Oh, that's right. -1 is 9, +3 is 12. So I get to add 2 more. Oh, this is gonna be fun.
I'm cheering on the sidelines.
You kidding?
Really?
Oh man, that was so
How do you
epic.
do that, Curry?
So question.
How?
Can I apply the 2 dice that the system deleted from my roll to the Nisse's attack? Because it deleted 2 for my mental conditions that it wasn't supposed to.
What if we like cheered on? You know, we're just like cheerleaders. Like, could that like give it a little extra oomph? I don't know. Oh man.
Because it
Oh, that
deleted
build
2
up.
dice.
From
It
you?
legit-
It's pretty
did.
epic though.
Yeah.
Just like the
Which roll was
the
it?
build up just for him to
The
miss.
manipulation.
It was the manipulation one.
Yeah, but you should have had the.
I should have had 2 more dice. That
All right. Okay. All right. I
just
didn't
give
see
him
that.
2 more dice. Just give him
Okay.
2 more dice.
It
doesn't matter.
You want to push it?
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
Because pushing it actually gives him a +1 modifier. All right. He's irritated. There we go.
Oh heck yeah.
All right. So now this is how the narrative changes. He flies at it and he's starting to make his swing. And that's when this thing kind of looks at him and starts to move out of the way. And he's like, oh, you're not getting out of here. I'm really angry. But as he punches, he's so irritated that he was going to miss. And he's kind of embarrassed that when he strikes this revenant, you see the revenant's face move, but you can't see him anymore. He's gone invisible.
Oh.
All right, so that's it's only 2 successes. This guy can he doesn't. Both are hits.
Yay.
Okay, so he is going to do both points. No, he's going to do 1 point. He's going to do 1 point in the damage.
Yeah, looks like base damage is 3, so he takes 3 damage.
Yeah.
And then you can take +1, so 4.
Yeah, but I think what he's going to do instead is because I just keep. Oh,
I mean, if he can switch initiative. Oh wait, no, that would be bad.
that would be bad if you switch initiatives.
Yeah.
Switch it with the undead, so that they're already done.
One. No, yeah, he's just going to put it in a point of damage. Yeah, he's just gonna put a point of damage onto him. Yeah, that's what he's gonna do for 4 points of damage. He doesn't have any defense, but boy, he's a glass cannon. These guys are literally glass cannons. All right, sweet. So that's him. He's disappeared though. You don't have eyes on the Nisse anymore. That takes us to Ernst.
All right. I would like to recover Samuel's dropped rifle.
Yes, you may.
Is that a quick or a slow action?
You know, I'll give that. Let's see here. Drop a weapon, swap a weapon, attack with a weapon, attack unarmed, wrestle, flee, persuade, lure, perform, treat injuries, climb a wall, move in next zone, move, put out a candle, turn around, shout a few words, chase, hold, break free, parry, dodge, stand up, take cover. Those are fast actions. I think picking it up off the ground is a fast action. If you had to search for it, it'd probably be like a slow action. I mean, I think this for me qualifies as. I'm just going to call it draw weapon based on my chart. This is just draw weapon. Yeah. You are drawing a weapon.
And also, point of order, you can do 2 fast actions.
Right, you can do 2. You can exchange your slow action for a fast action. Yes.
Which would be move. Like in this case, it would be move within the zone, pick up rifle, and that would be the turn for Ernst.
Yeah, I will do that. Pick up the rifle, and I am going to level it at the one that's been giving us trouble.
Sure thing. All right. So, Trish,
Yes.
you have been pushed away, if I remember correctly, but you're still within the zone, so you could use a fast action to get back to wherever it is that you need to go. Or you can stay where you're at and heave more stuff. You've got quite the fastball.
Well, yeah, but I want to try grappling this guy, but I won't be able to do that this turn, will I? Because that would be 2 fast actions.
No, attacking to wrestle is a slow action.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, grapple with force is a slow action.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. I want to move over to where this guy is, the one that's close and is attacking Tatiana. I want to grab him, and I want to, like, suplex him, just like...
Yeah, roll force.
Yeah, and I get a bonus because of the thing he did.
+2.
Okay, and then also, I already have a bonus because it's a force, because of close combat, right? Where's my thing?
This is force because you're
combat trained is specifically for parrying.
Okay.
I wish it was more than just
Yeah, because it says
parrying.
close combat and force when parrying. So yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's fine. Okay, so force plus 2. 1, 2. 1 success, 2 success.
2 successes.
Yeah.
All right. I've got to resist this. Let's see here. It's not protection. I think this is might. Let me double check here really quick. But I think I'm resisting this with might. Attacking, heavy lifting, resisting fire, or other kinds of damage. Body controlled for evading attacks. No, it's body control. That makes sense. Oh, I should have used body control last. That's all right. Body control is only like literally like 1 die less, so it's not a big deal. But this guy is the one engaging the party. He's merely mad. Oh, wow. Wow. Like a luchador springing up on the big show and hitting Hunan Karada. You grapple this guy and you grapple him with an extra success.
Yeah.
Yeah, and remember, I was specifically asking to get it out of the snow.
Huh? Yeah.
Like,
I'm
break
trying to
its
get him out of
connection to
snow.
the snow.
He's
Okay. So this is fun. He has a special ability to resist this. So you have won. You have officially grappled this guy, right? And you have scored more successes
Than him by 2.
than him. So at this point in the program, you can silence the defender. And then I think that's the yeah. So at this point in the program, we need to do one more force versus his might to find out if you actually do like get him off the ground.
Okay.
So you're gonna roll a force.
Nothing added to it, unfortunately. All right.
Yeah, it's just it's +2 to your next one.
Okay. Oh. Heck. Oof. It's got so many dice.
Right. So you pull and you were successful in the grapple. You've got this guy grappled now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're trying to heave him, and he's gotten a little bit bulkier since the beginning of this combat. And as you pull, like the legs start to elongate a bit, and you can almost hear little snips and snaps, ping, ting, ping. Maybe bone and sinew are snapping, but nothing is able to actually break that connection with the ground. And ultimately, it's a oh, good gravy, and he is still rooted to the ground
On the snow. Okay.
Yep.
But it's now the undead's turn.
Good go.
Yep. I'm in a great spot.
Right. We'll start with the
Good
one.
spot.
We'll start with the one that's far away here. The one that's far away is, yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So you're all combat aware, and you can see both, bogeys that are on the battlefield here. And the one that is engaging the Campbells and the Nisse, because I think you 4 are engaging the other one. If I have my picture in my brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it looks, it's looking for the thing that hit it, but it's now invisible. Samuel's on the ground. Trickle of blood. Samuel's on the ground coughing, and bright blood is spattering out of his mouth. But Daniel is there. And the lower jaw and other parts of the skull crick and crack as the face becomes hyper distorted, and it just, it's not even a roar. It's more like a low reverberating growl, and this green fog vapor miasma, and Daniel and has to roll a force check. Let's see here, Daniel. I didn't even look at force. Oh, he's got a good force check. That's 2 successes. All right. So what happens is the parts of the skin that you can see begin to turn white and begin to flake off, but it stops. Like you can see him coughing and whatever and kind of grunting through it and getting himself back in the fight. But for a brief moment, it looked like something was trying to grab hold of Daniel's physical form, as this green miasma is now just kind of leaking out of very small holes through the broken flesh of this thing. Now, the one that's engaging you all is merely mad. And it is going to oh. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. So who's in this guy's face? Which one? It's Tatiana and Treasure there. Ernst and Edvard has often took a shot. It's Tatiana. It has to be Tatiana. Uh-huh.
Even though he's grappled.
Oh, he is grappled. Right. The only thing that he can do, thank you for reminding me, he is grappled. May only parry attacks, attempt to break free, or shout. He's got to break free. Yeah. He's going to attempt to break free. So this is going to be, I'm going to set the DC. He's mad, so he gets +1. Okay, he's got 2 successes. You're going to have to roll force to hold him. Thank you for reminding me, Trish. This is good. You're burning his actions.
Well. Oh, no.
Okay, so breaking free is a fast action. Not fast action, slow action. I was thinking about what his fast action would be. That's why I said it was a fast action. So he just has the same. He's going to hold on to his fast action because he has a sneaky suspicion he's going to be targeted here pretty soon. So, Trish, you've got him. You try and lift him out, and then you're like, oh, he's really heavy, and then he just opens up, and you're no longer giving him a great big hug. That's it for them. Not a very exciting baddie round. Oh man. All right, it's the Campbells. Let's see here. Sam kind of spends his fast action to kind of get back to his gets back to his feet, and he looks around and he doesn't see his rifle on the ground. I think he sees Ernst with the rifle. He's just like, "What are you doing, old man? Thing will break your shoulder." Oh, damn it. And so let's see, what else does he have on his person? Yeah, he just produces his knife. And he had to, let's see here. Standing up, he had to spend a fast action. He drew his weapon as a fast action. So his economy kind of got burned there too. So that's all right. But Daniel just advances the cylinder on his pistol and takes another shot into the head of this other guy who tried to poison him and his future generations. Oh, I I gotta do this right here. He has 1 condition on him, so he has to roll fewer dice. Oh, I grabbed the wrong thing. We're gonna have to try this again. How many dice is he gonna roll? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They don't have condition trackers for the NPC, so that's something I need to add in the future. So wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Okay, boom. Takes a shot point blank range and does 1 success. So that means he is going to roll 5 dice and have a success. So, like, the success here, right? He's shooting point blank. He just puts a bullet into the skull of an undead thing. Doesn't seem to have, bits and pieces go flying, but doesn't seem to have the same kind of effect maybe the first time he shot him in the head. So that's what they have done. That takes us to Tatiana. Tatiana, this thing has just shrugged off Trish and is looking back at you.
It shrugged off Trish, and so I'm terrified. But also, I watched Dean shoot it in the head, and I'm just like, idiot. So I have my pine stick, and one of the magical properties of pine is that it purifies. So I'm going to take my stick and try to jab the end of it into the puncture wounds on its neck.
Nah. All right. Let's go to equipment. Let's find out what the most closest
chair?
No.
Looking at the weapons.
Let's give you quarterstaff. We'll give you quarterstaff. 1 damage. And what does the bonus do again? +1 to your. It'll be +1 to your close combat, and so I'm just going to treat it like a quarterstaff. +1 bonus to hit, and 1 damage, and 1 is its base damage.
Okay, and then I have +1 from my dog as well.
Yes, you do.
So that would be 3 or 4 dice.
What's your close combat?
I think it was 1 + 1. Had it up a second ago.
So is your physique 1 and you put 1 in the close combat, or is your physique 2 and you have nothing in close combat?
My physique is 3.
Okay. And did you put any points in the close combat?
I don't know. Hold on.
It's the second one down on the skills.
No, I don't.
So that'll be 3, plus the dog is 4, plus the quarterstaff is 5. Do you have any physical conditions?
No.
Okay, so you're rolling 5.
Okay.
As you try to jam this stick into the neck of this thing.
How do I...
So
How do I roll?
Yeah, left. You'll grab the die 6 with the left click, and then you'll right click as you're holding down the left click. You'll right click 4 more times. To there we go. There is a success. Wow, I can't. Wow, this is.
And do I get anything from the pine?
You'll find out.
Okay.
I'll say this. Let's see here.
It is no longer merely mad.
It is not mad. Oh no. You stab it in there, and because it's kind of looking back at you, because it's clearly got like it must have orders. It really seems to be focused on you. And as you stab it, like how do I describe this? It seems to get more defined now. It looks like it might even be stronger now than it was just a moment ago. And it's now looks to be furious. However, you're putting conditions on it, right? At some point it will break, just like you break after a certain number of conditions. Right? This is a really cool mechanic. Some Vaesen get stronger until they finally break. Makes them cool that way. At least I think it's cool. You may disagree with me. Your results may vary. But you're doing work. You had to get to this point.
Mhm.
Yep.
As a slow action, can I start to put the pieces together?
Put the pieces together. The pieces
That-
of what together?
Maybe Tatiana might have done a bad thing
Oh, I think there'll be time for that
for
after
that later.
you're in
Okay.
your combat. You're kind of in like, you're in crisis solving the problem, reptile
Okay.
fight or flight mode right now. There'll be time to either say, wow, this all went horribly, horribly wrong, or woohoo, we're awesome. How did I make this happen?
Yeah, just reflecting on those 2 dots, or the 2 dots on the neck that I just poked. So
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. And you're gonna hang on to your fast action. Okay, cool. All right,
reaction
Edward.
if I need it.
All right, let's hope that let us hope that my suspicion is correct. I will use my fast action to move within melee of it,
Mm-hmm.
and I am going to make an attack with my saber,
Mm-hmm.
specifically targeting its legs.
Ah.
Hmm.
Well, let's see here. The weapons range. The defender must declare a dodge if it has a fast action
Oh.
available, which he will.
I used the wrong one. Sorry.
He will. Oh, yeah. There's. Wow. How is that
Yeah.
possible? Your close combat has to be much better than that.
It's not.
Oh
Like,
no!
all the soldier stuff is based off of ranged weapons.
Oh, we had that conversation, didn't we? So it definitely. I mean, I was reading. I didn't see your roll, so he would have done his dodge. So you roll your.
I got a success.
So you have a success. Oh, that's right. You didn't. You just rolled close combat. You didn't roll your saber because your saber gives you a bonus.
Correct.
So that's your close combat, and then so he'll roll that. So all right. So this is going to be body control. Body control. And this is the one that's on the party. Has 1, 2, 3, 4. So he is mad. So
Oh, that's a lot of sixes.
that's 6 successes. All right.
Oh, what? That should be illegal.
I mean, given the way that Curry's been rolling the rest of the night, I think those are all of the successes you didn't get earlier.
I mean, yeah, I don't want to switch positions with Edward. I'm not certain that's such a sharp idea. So I think that's the only thing I can do with extra successes, if I remember right. It's just to exchange initiative cards with the attacker. So yeah.
Extra exchange initiative, inflict a mental condition in lieu of physical, push an enemy to another zone.
Isn't that if attackers score more successes?
Oh, yeah. Defenders.
I don't think the defender
score more
gets
successes.
Yeah, I'm
What do we
pretty
get?
certain that when I wrote this down, if the defender gets more
I think
successes,
so,
they just
yeah.
get to exchange positions. I don't
Oh,
mind.
yeah, you may choose to swap initiative, and that's it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah. But I don't take any damage, which is cool.
Fantastic.
All right. So, you know what? You hit the legs, but the legs don't. Nothing.
Yeah.
You hit the tree, and the tree hits back. All right. That takes us to the top of. I always, as a GM, I always know if I get it right that the combat wraps up in rounds 3 or 4. I typically find that that's for a good balanced combat, like 3 or 4 rounds. Either things have gone horribly wrong and people start to say we got to get out of here, or it feels like things are going okay. And I think that I was debating whether or not to send 2 or 3 of these guys at you. And since this is our first combat, I wasn't 100% certain, so I kind of said, 2 is probably balanced. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, I think 2 is more than fair.
Yeah. So, all right. So it's time for our invisible Nisse. All right. So our invisible Nisse is going to swing again with his mighty fist. He's irritated, which gives him a +1 mod. He's eaten his spinach, so that gives him a +3 mod. So here comes a. Oops! I grabbed the wrong thing. Here we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There we go. Huzzah! 3 successes. Or 1 success. So yeah. Okay. So the thing, this undead, this revenant, as Samuel calls it, that is, engaging with, it's just finished its breath curse attack on Daniel, and then you all see, this, I don't know, its head kind of gets knocked to the side. There's this sickening crack. And then its head, as it gets knocked to the side, compresses down like you're squeezing you're squeezing an accordion. And as it gets crunched, it begins to descend into the ground. And you can hear this, "Get back into the ground, you piece of undead garbage! How dare you soil my..." You can't see it, but you can see its head just and that scene technically would wrap up at another point in the, so it's happening, right? And that's the Nisse's go. And so Ernst, you see in this action in progress, even though technically the Nisse's turn is done, it's starting to get pummeled, and it's not collapsing into the ground. It's sinking back down in the ground, just like it had come up out of the ground before. So its legs aren't flattening out. Its body isn't collapsing or turning into dust. It's just going back down into the ground.
Gotcha.
Like it's on an elevator descending back down, dropping Cody Rhodes back down into the understage to wait for his next match.
All right. Well, that is quite the weird sight. But now that I've gotten a rifle, I am going to attempt to use it to help my friends. So I am too close, being in the same zone right now. So I would like to use my fast action to get a little bit of distance between me and this undead so I can sight down. And for my slow action, I am going to, with my hands shaking a little bit, try and steady my aim and take a shot.
Okay. I can't wait to see what your ranged combat dice roll is.
Not
Everyone roll
good,
to
but the
dodge.
rifle gives me +2, correct?
Oh, let's take a look. Actually, yeah. Let's take a look here. I don't know. Rifle. Let's go to ranged weapons. A rifle gives you a bonus of 2, and you can use your fast action to move into the next zone. So we just have to remember that you're a zone away.
Okay.
Right? So yeah, the rifle has a range of 1 to 3, and it has a +2 to hit, and its base damage is 2.
All right, let's roll them.
Whoa! Go, Ernst! We found a new skill for you. Oh no!
No, we have. The rifle is doing all of the work here.
Nice. So you've heard a couple of pistol reports, pop, pop, pop. But then the satisfying blood, this rifle that rings out, and you can see the rifle round. You don't see the round, of course, but what you see is this poof of material eject out of this thing. You were aiming at the one that's attacking your party, not the one that's getting pummeled into the ground, right?
Correct.
Fantastic. All right, so he's already spent his reaction. That's why I didn't declare any kind of dodge or whatever. He used his dodge on the sword. If I had known that the sword wasn't as awesome as the pistol shooting. I don't think I would have declared that, but I thought that Edward was gonna like drop like 12 dice on me or something. So.
I was hoping, yeah, no, like the soldiers.
Yeah.
I need to start investing some points into force in close combat.
Wow. Oh my goodness. So you get the first shot, which is 3 damage. And that immediately does what to the one on the party? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So
okay, cool.
Yeah. I have a question, Curry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing this is what is like part of the thing.
Yeah.
Combat with Vaesen.
Yeah.
Is that you're rolling dice that are not a dodge or anything like that.
Correct. I have a different stat block completely.
Okay, okay.
So to dodge attacks, I use a stat called body control. To wield a weapon, I have to, I have a might control. I have a protection which acts like armor. If I want to reach into someone's brain, I have manipulation. So, that's
okay.
What's going on
I was
there.
just wondering, like, it's like, does that require an action each time you're doing this?
For the protection, no, that's just his natural armor.
Okay.
Every time I resist damage, the body control is the dodge or the parry. I got to do that once. But every time I roll those 5 dice, that's just you trying to punch through his armor.
Okay.
Yep.
I just wanted to make sure on the mechanics, because
if you had armor, you'd be able to do that. If you wore armor, you'd be able to add that to
I know.
your dice to resist damage. Very much the same as with the one that's being pummeled by the Nisse. This rifle report rings out, and the thing immediately, it's got a pine stick in its neck, and it's got Trish like trying to, and there's all this stuff around it, kind of like just this giant with lots of little things clambering at it, and it finally, like, its head lolls back, and it doesn't fall back. It begins to descend down into the ground as well. But both of these descents, for reasons, is going to take the rest of this turn to happen. So, Ernst, that was your fast action and your action. So I think that...
Correct.
Okay, cool.
And for a bit of flavor, after that rifle report, Ernst was not expecting it to be quite so loud or quite so forceful, so he kind of drops it to the ground and just kind of, oh my.
That's a thing, right? Impressive.
Sure.
Yeah. So, Trish, in this moment, I'm going to give you an opportunity. I am going to tip my hand that we're kind of out of combat, but there's still like stuff in this moment that can be done. So as this is happening, as you see these two creatures descending back down into the ground where they had received their final hits, what does Trish want to do?
Is the Nisse visible?
Not quite yet.
Okay.
You can hear it screaming and punching this other one. Get down back into the ground, you moldy bag of bones!
Yeah, I mean, I guess just back up off of it, since it's descending into the earth, and just kind of like, I guess, hold my action, right?
Okay.
So as a movement, I'll back up and I'll hold my action.
Excellent. These entities have nothing to do but descend into their broken state. So it's now the Campbells' turn. And both Daniel and Samuel... no, kind spirit! Kind spirit, keep it on the ground! We have to banish it! Keep it on the ground! Don't let it descend! And they both are going to try to keep the one that they're engaged with, they're both going to try to grab them to keep them from fully going into the ground. There's no mechanic to help me with this, so I'm going to make a guess. That it'll be a force. Good gravy. Why do you have so much force?
Tatiana wants to use her reaction on Samuel after you're finished.
Okay, cool. All right. So That's 2 successes. And I'll go ahead and give... Oh, it probably should have been physique. Oh, his force and his physique are the same. Samuel... Oh my god. He gets to roll 1 dice. He's got so many conditions. He gets to roll 1 die. Come on, Samuel. Nope, that's about how that goes. Samuel's weak. Samuel's weakly like he's dropped his knife and he's weakly trying to. But you can kind of see like he's not moving well. He's had a bad day. But with those successes, because this entity is broken, it can't resist. So he stops the descent. Daniel does, and with his very muscular military body begins to pull this thing back out of the ground, and it offers no resistance, and it doesn't seem to be like taking swings or anything. Its body and its head are like drooping over to the side. So basically Daniel's just deadlifting this thing and it's coming back out of the ground, but there's no hole. The body just ascends and descends out of the ground. So he's pulling this thing back out. He's like, we gotta banish this the right way. And he pulls it out. And so that's the Campbells. That takes us to Tatiana. And of course, Trish, you've heard all of that and you've seen all of that.
I'm just shaking my head.
Got it.
Session.
Tatiana. Again, master of manipulation here. Different level of charm than she used on Sam. Is just going to kind of not turn to Daniel. God, how does she do this? Fuck. I was going to do it to Samuel, but Samuel failed.
Samuel needs all the help and care and attention. He
should have thought about that before he locked somebody in a closet.
He got crushed, but you're the better person, right? I mean,
yeah.
A DM can hope.
Let's see. So Tatiana's going to call out, Daniel, the undead can wait, your brother.
I'll give this to him. He's like, he's fine. He's had worse.
Don't you want to know who summoned them? There's a bigger issue here than the revenants.
This thing's pretty big. Oh, yeah.
No, I'm not going to get the roll. Okay.
Why do you want to roll?
Like, just to be like, your brother, come on.
I
know there has to be a heart in there somewhere.
Got it. I don't know. I think that I don't think so. I think that he knows that Samuel's alive-ish, and that their job is to deal with this, and their theory in their mind, of course, has been validated. Right, here it is. Here's the baddie. We were right. Here are the revenants. Yeah, baby, let's go. And so
yep.
I think that he's definitely. I don't think he's open to being. Sorry, but I don't think that he's open to being.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
So, in that case, Tatiana's going to turn back to her friends and apply some herbal tinctures to wounds. But I don't think she can do that because she failed in her action.
No. What do you mean? Oh, you mean, that was your, yeah, that would have been your slow action. So, like, a fast action is to, like, prepare something, or, so you prepare to dress, I guess, let's see here, Trish took a hit. So you're preparing to, like, tend to Trish. Sure, yeah. That's cool.
Yep.
All right, Edward, you are up.
Oh man, this is difficult because it's like they are here. They seem to be connected to the earth, and what happens if they go back down? I'm going to use my fast action to ask the Nisse, be like, do they need to come up or go down? Nisse.
I'll give this to you. The Nisse who has been punching the guy down, and then Daniel grabs it and pulls it back out and says, "No, we've got to banish him properly." And the Nisse is like, "I don't know how you get rid of these guys. I just punch them and they go back into the ground. They come back, I guess."
I'm going to trust the Campbells on this one, actually. Like, I don't think... So then he's going to be like, Trish, I need assistance. And he will try to pull it up as well for his main action, which I know is physique, or force.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah.
And no, I don't.
Do you want to...
I am not burning a physical condition for this.
Sure. Are you interested in attempting to keep this thing from descending down into the ground, Trish?
No, I feel like whatever turned them into this, it's worn off. And if we pull them out, they're just going to be corpses. I feel like we have to figure out who summoned them.
It seems like this has happened multiple times, Tatiana. The Nisse has said this has happened before. I don't think this is you. Although, to be fair, I think your character would like that.
Tatiana just spent most of this adventure terrified, so,
Fair. Okay. That's my turn.
Okay. So we're through. Hey, you guys lived. Woo!
Yay!
The one revenant descends down into the ground without a trace. The other one has been held out and seems to be unable to resist being kept out of the ground. And Daniel is holding this thing and says, "Samuel, come on, help me get this thing over to the church wall." And underneath the snow, Samuel goes over and knocks the snow, this ridge of snow off, and there's a low stone wall that's connected to the chapel, kind of defines part of the boundary of this churchyard. And you see Daniel take this body and he takes it across the wall once. Then he takes it across the wall twice. And he says, "One more time." He takes it across a third time. And says, "Okay. All right. Samuel, get across out of the kit." And Samuel goes back to where this engagement had begun, and there's a doctor's bag on the ground there, and he opens it up and he produces a cross out of it. And Daniel turns to the Nisse, who comes back into existence, and I think he kind of comes back into existence sitting on top of the head of the Nisse, just like sitting on it cross-legged with his arms on the side going, "Oh, that'll teach you to try and come mess with my what used to be my property. You old stinky breath piece of rot. I showed you." and as he's sitting there taunting it, Samuel, who grabs the cross, and he comes back over to Daniel holding the body where the Nisse, and he says, "Kind spirit, we apologize for the grief that we gave you. It was important to determine exactly where this undead threat came from, and now that we have vanquished it, we know for sure that the troubles should come to a close. We'll ensure that the proper treatment for you is ensured. But we are not going to let this revenant continue to threaten this property, but we do need a grave and a casket, if we may. And he points to the ground where this thing erupted up out of. He says, we're not going to dig into Esther's grave, but do you object to us digging here? It must be buried in a casket with this cross. And it looks down at Samuel from on top of the head of this oversized corpse, and he's like, that's fine. That spot was old Tyrus Tig. He was a pain in the butt. I didn't really care to see him come. I didn't really care to see him go. This doesn't look like Tyrus, though. This guy's bigger. And what's up with this? And he reaches down to the neck of this other revenant, and he puts his fingers into two little holes on the side of the neck, and he's like, "This is weird. Look at that!" and points at it in a little bit, and like Daniel and Samuel look at it and say, the undead carry the marks of what killed them. This thing appears to be the victim of what appears to be some kind of violence. Maybe he was shot in the neck or something. Right now, we just have to make sure that this thing gets buried.
And at that point,
if I may, go for it.
Yeah,
First.
Come on in.
Tatiana is dead white. Just
Edward comes in, and is like, the other one had the exact same marking.
And
I'm sorry, you were unable to pull it out.
Samuel kind of just shoots a glance at you, like ixnay on the thing, nay. And you kind of hear flump, flump, flump in the snow, where finally, out of breath, comes Axel Trigg.
I was wondering where that guy was. I know he was watching this whole time.
He was behind you all, and really only this engagement took 30 seconds, and so he finally catches up. He's like, oh, what is that? And he sees this thing that Daniel is holding. It's like, what? And he starts to like to color, and he starts to. And does Axel survive his fear check? Poor Axel. I know you don't fear. I know you're not Axel succeeding or not. It's probably not big on your list of things. But let's see here. It is not great either way. Yeah.
Oh
dear.
All right.
Oh
yeah.
man.
So he just freezes. He's just like, he doesn't move. He's just making this noise. He's rapidly breathing, and for the next 4 rounds, that's all that he does.
All right. I would like to.
And so you can kind of understand it. Samuel's like, to you, Edward, really is about not in front of the children.
Mm-hmm. I would like to make an examination of this.
So
thing.
It's going to take some time.
Yeah, and I'm going to
Samuel produces in a minute or so, Axel comes back to his senses, and he's like, there should be shovels in the chapel. And so Samuel and Edward, if you're assisting.
Yeah, Edward's assisting.
You begin the process of digging into the ground, which is of course hard. It's snowing and such, and so the ground is a bit tough. And
while they're doing this, can I take the opportunity to give the shoe back to the Nisse before anything else happens?
Oh, yeah, sure. No, I'm down for that. So let's go ahead and do this in kind of a circle. We'll start with Ernst's examination. We'll do the Trish scene with the Nisse, and then I'll go to Edward for a scene that you might want to have with the Campbells as you're digging. And then I'll come to Tatiana. Tatiana, you might have a scene in mind by the time we come around for what you're interested in doing. Unless you want to do an examination with Ernst while Ernst is looking at the body, which might be something Tatiana, I don't know.
Tatiana is, but it's more in terms of making sure that Ernst's coat is fully fastened and possibly being like, put this under your tongue, it will warm you up. And just kind of trying to take care of Ernst and keep him from dying out here.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Yes, she's very curious about the examination, but also
I feel like every single episode has been one of us trying to keep Ernst from dying.
So
Yeah, just keep Grandpa alive.
Like,
we just gotta
is your
keep
character
Grandpa alive.
actually
We gotta get
in
to Wally
like
World.
in like the old category, or is he like
I am
middle-aged?
old.
The old
Okay.
man.
Yeah.
You've been around the
Okay.
block.
Yep. It's good stuff. Fantastic. So let's start with Tatiana and Ernst. Daniel is holding this body underneath the shoulders. He's kind of sitting against a church wall. He's breathing labored, but he's still holding on to the body. And as you come to examine it, he says, you know, if you let these things go, they just go back into the ground. They come back out later. It's unfortunate, but this is actually the hardest part of dealing with one of these things.
If I may, while
feel
they're
free.
preparing the ground, may I examine?
Don't make me drop it. We worked too hard for this.
And I'll be very careful to not get in his way, but I just want to see the physicality of it, and kind of, I am looking to connect this with things that I know about. So I know they've called it a revenant, and they have their own system of dealing with it. I want to hang this on a hook of knowledge that I have.
Okay, cool. So let's do this. Is there anything in your history that would have given you an opportunity for an undead encounter that might have been a revenant? I want to let the dice decide, but I want to give you a good shot at this.
Oh.
Because you're like a folklore sort of.
Yeah, most of the things that I've studied have been fairies and sprites and trolls. So the Nisse is much more in Ernst's wheelhouse than some kind of undead thing. So this is, I would say this is entirely out of his ordinary.
All right, cool. So I'm going to do this. You're going to do your examination, and we need to figure out if that's going to be is that a learning? What is that going to be? What do we think that's going to be? Is that going to be a vigilance?
Investigation?
Or an investigation,
yeah.
right?
My feeling is investigation.
Yeah, let's go with investigation. That sounds great. So this is going to be an investigation. Now, here's the thing, right? Because you don't have a tremendous amount of background, I'm going to give you information for successes, but I'm probably going to cut that in half. So like a success will get you like a 0.5, 2 successes will get you a 1, sort of thing like that.
Okay.
So I don't want you to have a success. I don't want to give you like a minus on this. I don't feel good about that. So.
All right. Well,
so you begin the examination, and the things that you see, fantastic. So on the surface, right, we're talking about this was clearly at one point a person. This is a human. This is a human that has maintained a tremendous amount of its original, like you were able to tell that it was irritated and mad and furious because it has maintained a tremendous amount of its personality and identity in its face and in its body. It is wearing a certain amount of rotted clothing that hangs loosely about its body. This is the one that tried to poison, looked like Daniel. It still has small little pockets of this green wispy whatever coming out of various different small lesions in the skin. It's very powerful. Especially in its arms and shoulders. This thing is top heavy. You understand why this thing squeezed Samuel within an inch of its life. It's got, it doesn't skip arm day. It is with that success, your understanding to a certain extent of what you have heard of revenants is that some stories, revenants are incorporeal and occupy bodies. Whereas this one seems to be, because of the way the body descended back into the ground, you get a sense that its spirit is still attached to this, and that either, and you don't know this for sure, this isn't a revenant, or it's a variant you've never heard of before. Now, each of those are very exciting, right? But you get the sense that this thing is in a, like, what you know for sure is Daniel's right. This thing needs to be, there's a ritual that Daniel and Samuel are performing, and to put this thing down, this ritual needs to happen. If you were to let this thing go, and you're kind of thinking in the back of your head, oh crap, one of them got away, that it probably would regenerate. That it is merely in a broken state right now. And yes, this is good that at least we've got one out of the ground. But if this is a revenant or not, 50-50. It's either not a revenant or it's a variant. Revavariant.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And as Ernst is doing the science, Tatiana.
Yeah. Tatiana is very courteous and is like helping him balance and like holding his light or whatever he's using to examine, but also doing a close examination of this and looking at the bite mark. And if I can learn anything from either the type of teeth that made this, or if I recognize who this person used to be. I'm not hopeful because it seemed like the other one wanted me, but is this somebody I knew when he was in less decayed shape?
Excellent. Cool. So let's give that roll. I think. Is this another investigation? Is that what we're doing? I think you're investigating this body, right?
Could that be an observation?
Observation is reading the room. That's more like, that's like the insight check, right?
Okay.
This thing is long past being able to read its emotions. Whoa! What? Wow. Okay, Tatiana, you're getting all you're getting all the coins out of this machine. Here we go. Bing, 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 bing. Okay, cool. So, no, you don't recognize this person.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you do recognize that this is the kind of person that would have been hired for a very physical job in the, security department, if you will. No, you don't recognize the specific hardware, but this is very much the classic canine punch. Punch. Into the throat. In the right place in the throat.
Does it...
This is a death, not a conversion. And man,
are there any, like, does this have like any signatures of any deaths I've seen before?
Just that, right?
Okay.
That this is a death.
So this wasn't like a flair for the dramatic or something.
Well, I mean, is it within the capability of past entities to create undead to go out and do particular jobs? Without rest, without sleep, without fear of starvation, dehydration, cold, or heat?
Yeah.
You know what you get for that third? I know it's not a investigation, it's more vigilance, but you've earned it. That first time that you surveyed the woods, you were looking for something to help you in the battle. Because you were in the moment, you didn't ping it. Now that you've calmed down, you've begun examining the body. Ernst is looking at the body, making examinations. You hear the rhythmic dig in the ground. And you remember, oh, when I surveyed the woods, there was something there. I think it was a person. And now that you've realized it, as Ernst is wrapping up his look at the body, and you are looking at the body, and then you have that moment of, oh, wait, and you look to where you thought you saw it, and there's nothing there. But you are absolutely positive that over there is where you thought you saw someone.
Excuse me, Professor, I think I dropped something. And then she's just going to go running over there.
Fantastic. Meanwhile, at the dig site, we dig. Oh. All right. So what's going on at the dig site here? Sam is trying to dig. It's not doing very well. He's moving kind of slow. He's helping the best he can.
Yeah, no, and I'm doing as much as I can to make sure that this gets done. Just be like, sorry for the disbelief. We've just those teeth. I was drawn to the lake by something earlier. As we're digging, I'm saying it like in a low tone so that like the other people can't really tell. And be like, I've heard tales. Are we dealing with something that's actively bringing things back to the life?
And Sam says,
Like an enthrall?
I don't know about the lake. We didn't get anything from the lake. We know that's where, and he nudges towards Esther's grave. We know that's where she died. What we never fully understand is, she died in the lake, but they found her on the shore. Well, that was weird. But I think the lake is something else, maybe. This, and he points to, he kind of gestures up towards the revenant that Daniel is holding. Yeah, those things can die in all sorts of crazy ways. So there's something else that made those, let them loose on the world, and that's what we're here for. This is just the next step in a long chain of investigations that we have to make, and well, I think our next step is to figure out where those things came from. I'm just glad that we got this one taken care of. I'd watch out for you if I were you. That other one, who knows when it's going to show back up. But just here's the thing. Carry it over a church wall 3 times, bury it with a cross on it, and it'll be dealt with pretty quickly after that. And he keeps digging.
Understood. Yeah, I'm digging the whole time with him. Like, just trying to pass the time and just being like, I looked it up and I'm like, when did Bram Stoker? That's 1897, so can't make that reference.
Sure. Tridge,
Yes.
we had you returning the shoe?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So
I'm like, oh, now that that's done with, here. I'm sorry, I did not mean to take it.
And Axel, who's kind of there helping and watching, says, oh, our family heirloom. What are you doing with that? Wait, were you in my room? What were you doing in my room? Here, that's been in my family. And he reaches out for it. That's been in my family literally for generations. It's our good luck charm.
So I don't have a chance to give it back to Nisse.
So the Nisse kind of looks at you and he goes, well, he doesn't go. He says, yeah, go ahead and give it back to him.
I'm like, oh, I found it on the ground in the hallway. Maybe the cat got a hold of it.
Infuriating cat. God, I wish I could get rid of it. And you see on top of the revenant, the Nisse is like, I wish I could get rid of you, you lunkhead. And he gets off and he walks over and, you're so dumb you can't even see me.
That's our Nisse.
And then he turns to you.
Oh, man.
He turns to you, Trish. Who are you people? You're weird. You came in, you ruined a bunch of, you did a lot of, and now here you are helping me save from these, well, who are you people?
Just some wanderers.
Huh? That's literally the opposite of what I am. I've been here for hundreds of years. Although it's time, I think, for me to go. They don't remember me here. They don't care about me here.
You should come hang out at our house. I'll feed you porridge every day.
Roll an empathy check. Not empathy. Roll a
Manipulation.
Are you manipulating?
Manipulation.
Are you trying to connect with him? Or are you manipulating him?
Yeah, I want to be friends.
Yeah, sure.
Now, do I have conjuring tricks? Nope, that's not it. I don't have anything. I don't. Okay, it's fine. It's whatever.
Do you have your? Whoa, wait. Do you have a shoot? What was your advantage during your trip? Or did you already use it? On our trip here, during our journey here, you did something, weren't you? Weren't you practicing something like a card trick or something, or what was your? I just don't remember what your advantage was. It'd be interesting to see if we could figure out a way to get your advantage in there. I don't know if you've used it yet or not.
I'll feed you porridge every day, and I'll teach you fun card tricks. And I pull out my deck of cards, and I start doing some weird shit with them. How's that?
Yeah, okay, go ahead and do a manipulation +2.
Hell yeah! All right.
Oh my goodness, let's have some fun here.
Oh,
that's a success. There's no guarantee.
Oh, you already have 2 conditions. I was like,
there was 1 success. Yeah, I was going to push it. I mean, I was good because I have a couple I could, but I'm good. So I only need the 1, right?
Well, it is a success. Yeah. And so I just need to figure out what our opposed roll is going to be. What is our opposed roll? There's a chart that tells me what the opposed roll is. At least I thought there was.
So is seeing an undead thing not allowing, like, can the brother not see the Nisse now because he's actually seen undead?
Well, no, that's the weird thing. Axel can see this revenant.
Because it's a physical body.
But he doesn't seem to be aware of the Nisse. But he knows the Great Cat exists. So really, I think, can you put that together? Or do you want to make a roll to put that together?
No, I mean, I can probably put it together, but I'm digging a hole.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's fine. That's fair. Yeah, no. The Nisse, no, he's seen the cat. He just can't see. Okay, so it is opposed by observation. Okay, very good. So I don't think, I think that, you know what? You make a compelling argument. And here's why I'm giving this to you. I don't know. At some point, you'll go back and you'll watch episode 1, and the prologue to episode 1 it's the confession camera. It's the interview camera from Big Brother or whatever, where, the Nisse is sitting down in front. He's kind of spilling his guts about what's going on. So you'll understand why you get this role. I'm really glad that we're doing this. This is fun and exciting. But I don't think he's gonna. Okay, so he's gonna roll against manipulation. So that's 7. And it's a failure. You make a compelling argument. He says, it's time for me to move on. I would feel better to be with people who appreciate me and don't want to, take all my hard work. And do you have a place, like a home?
Yes, absolutely. All my life, I've always wanted a home, and in that home, I wanted there to be a Nisse I could feed porridge to.
Oh, it sounds lovely. There are not already my kind there on the property?
Well, I think there's something living in the chimney, but I haven't figured it out yet.
Oh, I can definitely. I'm very good with chimneys, sweeping them out and getting rid of cobwebs. And every once in a while, a varmint gets in there, a raccoon or a possum, and I have to get it out. It's something like that. That would be lovely. I made a promise. I made a promise to Esther And he kind of looks back over at the grave. And he stops for a moment and he doesn't say anything. I didn't want to leave, but I couldn't stay here anymore where I wasn't appreciated. I made a promise to her. And I know I said some things when I was mad, but I was going to stick to my promise. I was going to stay this winter and keep the place safe for one more winter. And then I was going to leave. Where are you? I'd like to come. I think if you would have me in the spring.
Absolutely.
Really?
Maybe we can come back and pick you up.
Oh, that'd be great. I'll stay here. I'll stay here until the spring, and then you can come and collect your favorite gray cat.
Getting a cat.
What's your name?
Trish.
Trish. That's a lovely name, Trish. It's wonderful to meet you.
It's an honor to meet you.
Well,
I'll like take my hat off and do a bow. And I promise I won't take your shoes.
You know, they can have it. If we can find some birch bark, I can always make a new one.
Oh, yes. There's a whole forest near our place. You could easily find some birch bark.
Trish, my name is Greyfoot. It's nice to meet you. I would be happy to start anew. Where are we going? Where do you live?
Where do we live?
You live in Uppsala Castle in Uppsala,
Sweden.
Castle
Yeah.
in Sweden.
Uppsala? You
Oh,
live in
no.
a city? You
Oh.
stinky, dirty, smelly horse carriage, people in their modern. You live in a city?
Well, to be fair, our property is quite large. It feels like we're pretty far out from the city.
How large?
I mean, like I said, there's a whole forest. It connects to Edward's house. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump away.
Wait, do you have how big is this house? Do you have any buildings, barns, or anything like that?
It's huge. We've been there for a few months, and I'm still exploring it.
I feel like I've been baited and switched here a little bit. Not gonna lie.
We're going to be putting in a greenhouse.
City. I'm not one of these up and coming modern Nisse who like to go around and ride in boats and canals and stuff. But okay, you did feed me some porridge. It's the first time I've had any in so long. Well, okay. Well, I don't know about you, but I have work to do. If you'll excuse me, you'll find me in the dining room doing my job. And he poofs back into a cat and bounds away towards the house. You almost swear with a spring in his step. He seems to be pleasant, and I have to make a note.
Does it seem like
that in the spring you have acquired Greyfoot the Nisse.
We have to remember to get him.
We have to come pick him up. Does it seem like Axel notices the cat bounding back into the house?
You know what? Axel is very much trying to make sense of this exhuming of the body of one of his uncles, great uncles, whoever this guy is. And he's still kind of keeping an eye on this undead body. Like, is it going to come back in any moment? That when he finally notices that there's a cat bounding away, he's just like, that damn cat. And goes back to what he's doing. Axel's in over his head, but he doesn't know. He knows he is in over his head, but he doesn't know,
he doesn't know how fucked he is.
He doesn't know how.
All his luck is about to dry up.
It really is.
I have a feeling he's gonna end up calling us back here anyway, because things are about to get weird.
Yeah. The new friend acquired.
This is a new friend acquired. I love it.
This is true.
Okay, so now Tati has a dog and Trish has a cat.
And Tatiana also has a vigilance check to make for me as you make your way out into the edge of the woods, looking for where your
this is bad.
Where your ping on the radar went.
Yeah, no.
You get to the spot, and in the snow, there are a pair of boot marks. These boot marks are not the marks of snowshoes, shoes, snow boots. These are very fine, elegant, heeled boots, fashionable style, pointed toe. The tracks come in from one direction and they stand, and then they walk off in a separate direction, showing no signs of being inhibited by the terrain or the snow. Completely inappropriate footwear for where we are, but that is true for the brand, if you know what I mean.
That's never stopped her. Yep.
And, well, it's never stopped someone who wears fashionable boots with a heel.
Yep.
And that's what no successes will grab you. You make your way back to the chapel in time to see.
But before I leave, though, I'm going to say, I'm sorry, Mama, and then walk back.
Okay. And as you return the lid to a coffin, the remains of a great Uncle Tig in a very decayed state, Daniel, and probably because Samuel is like leaning on the shovel, just like, I'll help in a minute, Daniel. Just give me a second to, I don't feel very good. I think I broke something. And Daniel kind of looks around, maybe to Edward for some help. Can you help me get this thing? Maybe Trish, you've been quite the.
after...
It was impressive watching you like grapple that thing. I just need somebody to help me lower this thing down into the ground. That's right.
Yeah. I'll
No,
get some help.
Trish.
Oh,
it's their
no?
mess. Let them clean it. Let me attend to your wounds.
It's their
Oh,
mess.
that's true. I'm probably I'll be like, yeah, I'm coming to help, and I'm like, I start limping.
Tatiana, it's their mess. Absolutely fantastic. Roll deception. No.
Roll for arrow to the heart.
roll for irony. The body is lowered into the casket, cross placed on it. When it hits it's into the casket, the remnants of this wood casket, it's mostly intact. It doesn't seep through. It seems to sit on top of the poor disintegrated remains of one ancient Tig. They close the lid back on it and proceed to bury the body. And
while all of this is going on, Tatiana is all over Trish, like cooing over their wounds and like just fixing their hair and adjusting their clothes and being like, I'm like so
looking over at Samuel, like,
I don't know what came over me. Just, you've always been my best friend. And just like all of this, just like super flirty, just all over.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm soaking it up, but I'm also kind of like giving Sam the eye, like, this could be you.
Mm-hmm. Sam chuckles, and then he winces in pain because it might be a rib that's broken.
Yeah,
he can't really.
Wince,
he
like,
can't.
oh, my
he can't really. He can't really do much about it. But he just sort of chuckles and he knowingly nods and continues to shoveling. Every time he shuffles, he just winces a little bit. Like, oh, he's only getting like a quarter shovel load in as this body is being buried. And I think I want to kind of let that be our end of the episode, fade away high five moment, as the group has solved the mystery of a winter's tale. The party unfortunately never makes it to the conclave. That evening, the party returns after having finished burying this thing in the ground to a building that is significantly warmer. the hearth seems to burn a little brighter. And while they're waiting for the storm to pass, I suspect that there is some discussion between the adventurers and the house staff. And the cook's daughter, she agrees that it wouldn't do any harm to leave a little cup of porridge somewhere in the kitchen where Axel can't see it, just in case Esther's stories were true. In a couple of days, the storm begins to relent, and the group embarks to go to the carriage to collect their goods, having no idea where Ilya is. Ilya has been gone ever since. And that is handled in a slightly gruesome way. At the carriage, you find sitting on the carriage the half-naked body of Ilya Ermakov, clothing very familiar to Edward's experience. It seems that Father Frost got some soul harvested anyway.
Is there
You're
a mark
able
on
to-
his neck?
There's no mark on his neck. He has died of exposure. He sits blue and frozen on the carriage. The items that were lost or found, the winter it's still winter, but the storm seems to not have as much power and as much bite to it. Edward's hypothesis seems to bear out that Happiness is a warm community, and that Father Frost doesn't have the same power over the landscape with Greyfoot on duty, so to speak. In no short time, everybody over a couple of days heals from their wounds, and Daniel and Samuel off for the party. Travel back to St. Petersburg, since the conclave has, most likely wrapped up by now. Whether you take it or not, I suppose it's up to you. If you don't, there's probably time to wait to hail down a coach as travel resumes. Do you take up the Campbells on their offer to go back to St. Petersburg?
Ernst isn't petty enough to turn down the offer of transportation.
It's a slick black coach, let me tell you that.
Neither is Edward, but he will respect the decisions of others who may have been scorned by one or more of these individuals.
If I may... Oh, go ahead, Trish.
No, I was about to say it depends on how Tatiana feels.
Yeah.
But if we do go, Trish is definitely sitting between Sam and Tatiana.
I'd like to stay a few more nights and take another carriage. I feel I must have a story I need to tell the three of you.
Oh yeah, it's a story.
And as the Campbell's carriage takes off that evening, I think we can definitely end this session with Tatiana's story. As everyone is around the fire, characters who have been there, nobody has braved the weather, so no one new has arrived. So Axel and Vilma and Karen and Ermery and her children and Greyfoot curled up and purring in Ernst's lap at some point.
Aww.
Has probably poofed in as the Nisse to apologize for attempting to murder him and the party a couple of times. But you understand, I thought people were here to ruin me.
Hey, Ernst won't be the oldest member of the household anymore.
It's true. I feel positively young by comparison.
But Tatiana's story has a creature in it, and she varies the inflection on the word of the monster within it. And depending on how she inflects the word means either wolf man or blood drinker. And every time she mispronounces the word as blood drinker, she makes eye contact with Trish, Edvard, and Ernst. She tells a tale about a man who came too late to save a family, and how the family slowly came back to him, but they were not as they once were. They were changed. And how he finally had to set the house on fire to rid the village of the changed family that was haunting and taking people from the town.
All right. Well done, everybody. We will take a little break as we prepare for our next season, which means we'll be back for, I can't remember if it's March. We'll be back in March for more episodes as we continue going through. This is Free League's Vaesen, and we're running through their Seasons of Mystery, and we will return for the March tale, which I believe is entitled. Got a really cool title. I want to get this right.
Into the Marshes of Madness?
No. We'll be back in the spring for A Dance with Death. So before we go, let me thank all of my players. We'll do a quick a round of introductions to let everybody be able to say who they are and what they do and cool places to follow them. And we'll start with our storyteller, Tatiana.
I'm Rin Pond. You can find me on Twitter. I'm not terribly active right now, but I write stories and TTRPG adventures.
And Edvard.
Hi, I'm Quinn, also known as Ruffles McStuffle. I am a local trash panda that is currently hiding in your garbage can right now.
That's a true statement. Trish.
I'm Sam Ray Duke. I am an illustrator, and I'm pretty much off of Twitter, but I am on Tumblr, Instagram, and I don't know, whatever internet thing's a thing.
And their website, Sam Ray Duke.
SamRayDuke.com.
And Ernst.
I'm Jerry. I'm a math and science teacher by day, of all things, and I currently do exist on Twitter, and I have perpetual hopes of actually getting my YouTube channel off the ground.
Woo-hoo.
Oh yeah. Woo.
Exciting. And I'm your Master of Mysteries. I'm Curry, and I'm also a teacher. I teach English and social studies, and 503 RPG is my fever dream or passion project or whatever it is you want to call it. We're hoping to be able to start to expand other stories and get other people going as well. So that's going to be the goal for this year. So keep an eye out for announcements on new games and new people, and hoping to get a live one going, not a live stream, but an actual live people in a live space. So that'll be very exciting. So we'll see how well that pans out here in the spring. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Go back and check out earlier episodes if you're just joining us now, and check out the fall adventure. That's a really cool one too. And we'll see everybody in the spring with A Dance with Death. Bye, everybody.